Johnny Murray here, and welcome back to a brand new ranking. Today we got a big one and a different one, an exciting one. This is just a weird rank. We are going to be ranking every weapon in Doom: The Dark Ages. And yes, you heard me right. Every weapon in Doom: Dark Ages. So if you're just wanting guns, too bad. We're also including melee weapons and gameplay mechanics. We're going to be including the shield as well, okay? We're including the shield, the 3 melee weapons, and I think like the 11 guns or something that are in the game. We're going to be ranking all of it, telling you which ones I use the most, which ones I think are the best, blah, 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 blah. You get it. I'm just ranking them based off of coolness, how much I like them. Point blank, period. Be mad. But yeah, I have beaten this game. I absolutely love this game. I am currently trying to 100% the game. And yeah, this is just a topic I thought would be kind of interesting. I did it for Returnal, which is another game I really liked, and I thought I'd do it again. I did a tier list for that one, but I'm just going to be ranking it here. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into it. If you guys love video games, consider subscribing, share with your friends. We cover everything here. It doesn't matter what you love. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, third-party, PC, VR, indie, whatever it may be. Consider subscribing, share with your friends. We cover video games daily, and we love talking about video games, and there's so much to be excited for and so much to love right now in terms of video games. And yeah, thank you also for the support, especially supporting this video right here. But let's get started, man. Coming in at 16th place, we have the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher, it was fun when I first got it, but then I just never really used it again. It just was really hard to, not hard, but it was just harder to hit shots than a lot of other things, and I just felt like it was very ineffective. I didn't really enjoy my time with it. I didn't think it was very fun, but it is cool because it is a grenade launcher at the end of the day, so it's gonna, you know, be kind of cool to like ricochet things, and sometimes you get a hit and explodes and does a lot of damage. It's fun sometimes, but for me, I just really found it kind of uninteresting. Coming in at 15th place, we have the rocket launcher. So both of the explosive type guns, in my opinion, are the weakest in the game. The rocket launcher is cool, and there were moments I used it just to deal that really high damage, but I just found it definitely a worse option than anything else because it does do that splash damage, which can hurt you. You can get an upgrade for the rocket launcher, which allows splash damage to actually heal you instead of hurt you. But even with that, I just never really find myself using the rocket launcher because I'm wanting faster rates of fire, and I'm wanting more viable options when I'm playing the game. And to me, it kind of just sometimes those explosives ruin the momentum of the game, so I just really never use these very much, and I'm not really a big fan of them. I will say I do love the design of the rocket launcher though. Really, it looks sick. Coming in at 14th place, we have the accelerator. Now this is the just normal rifle, the more fast rifle for the energy type weapon class. I don't know what the exact term is, but it's the plasma rifle. And for me, there is just a much better option in the plasma section, being the cycler, and we're going to talk about that a lot later. But for me, this is, once I used it and once I got the cycler, I never really went back to it. And when I did go back to it, it just always felt like it didn't do enough damage, or it was the spread on the weapon was too much. And so it just wasn't really that effective for me. Really, the only time I had to use it was when I had to destroy plasma shields, and I was out of ammo on my cycler, so I just switched. But even then, this game gives you so much ammo that it's really rare you run out of ammo. And so for me, I just really never used the accelerator, and when I did, I just wasn't really impressed. But it was definitely something I went back to more than the explosive gun, so that's why it's in 14th. Coming in 13th place. Now, this is where I would say these are all weapons I used pretty frequently, like I tried switching to, and that's something I will say about this game is you could easily just pick any one of these weapons and play through the whole game with that one weapon. I chose to like switch around and play with other things just because I was trying to experience everything and having fun with it. Towards the end of the game, I definitely did stick with a couple weapons, and those are the ones you are going to see at the end of this game, or at the end of this ranking. But for me, number 13 and above are all weapons I actually like enjoyed using, and I used when I felt like it. And so coming in 13th is the combat shotgun. The OG, just the one that you start with, the default shotgun. Shotgun's great. It does a lot of damage. It's really viable. It's really effective. It's fun to use. I think everything else kind of just is either cooler or is just better. But you can upgrade this weapon where it does like this triple shot thing where it shoots like 3 times in a rapid succession, and that is really, really fun to do. But for me, I just think the combat shotgun, it's great, but it doesn't necessarily do anything special that I like fell in love with. So that's why it's so slow. But coming in next, we have our first melee weapon, gonna be the power gauntlets. Now, I know comparing the melee weapons and the shield to the guns is kind of unfair because they all serve very different purposes, but just for the sake of the video, we're doing it. But the power gauntlets is probably my least favorite of the melee. Not because I don't like the power gauntlets. I love the power gauntlets. It's just once I got the other ones, I just stuck with those. And the power gauntlet, I actually love how they feel and how they sound. I kind of explained this in my review. It almost feels like you're Batman from Batman Arkham, jumping from enemy to enemy, just knocking them out with one punch. Like, it really feels like you are knocking them out cold with your power gauntlets, and sometimes you see a lot of bones and blood. But in this case, I absolutely love the power gauntlets. They are just probably my least favorite out of the melee weapons. And definitely in the first half of the game, I was using melee less than I did in the second half. So therefore, power gauntlet was kind of forgettable, but it was still really fun when I did use it. Coming in at 11th place, we have the Ballistic Force Crossbow. Now, this is like basically the ultimate weapon in the game. This is the one that you unlock last. This is like the final weapon you unlock, and it has super rare ammo. So this is like your, if you want to deal the most amount of damage in one big shot, this is the one to do it. This is, if all hope is lost, you use this weapon. And for me, I loved it. I think it's super fun. I think it has some great moments, especially when you get it and you blow up the thing that you're in front of. I think it's really, really fun and satisfying for sure. But this whole game is satisfying. Honestly, all these weapons are satisfying in their own right. For me, the big problem with this is, and this is definitely me problem, I just always forgot to use it. I just never used it really. Like, when I remembered it, I'm like, oh yeah, let me use this real quick just for the fun of it, and it was awesome. But I kept on forgetting I had it, so therefore I just never really used it. But when I did use it, I had a good time, so that's why it's inside. Coming in 10th place, kicking off our top 10, we have the flail, another melee weapon that I really enjoyed. But again, I didn't use it as much until like the second half, and then I ended up getting the other melee weapon, and I love that much more. But the flail does have a little bit higher recharge time, but it does a little bit of area damage as well as really good damage to the person you're attacking, and it's just really cool. The flail is obviously a signature weapon in this game. It's on the key art, it's on the cover art, it's all that stuff. I really enjoy the flail. It's definitely a memorable weapon for me. But again, melee was definitely on the lower end during the time I had with the flail. Coming in 9th place, we have the Shredder. This is the full auto weapon in the, I guess you would call them like skewer or like nail class weapon, guns, whatever you want to call it. This is where it shoots like spikes out, and it's like just a machine gun shooting like spikes out. And I really enjoy this weapon. I like the upgrades where if you have a shield in the enemy, then if you shoot it, it'll start like spreading the bullets otherwise. And then if you do the pin cushion, you can put a lot of different spikes into enemies, and then you can hit it with a shield and it'll all explode. I really like that. I like that it is full auto. I like how precise it is, and that's I think what I love about it the most. It's super duper precise full auto weapon, and I just really liked it. I did like the other spike weapon more, and I do think that this is one I didn't go back to as much because it doesn't do as much damage, but I really enjoyed this weapon. And then coming in at 8th place is the Impaler, the other spike weapon. This one was just even more satisfying. It did more damage. It was more of a unique thing where if you hit an enemy and they are in front of a wall, it will just, the impact of when it hits the enemy is great, but then also you just see them get stuck to the wall behind them because there's just that much force in the projectile. It's super duper satisfying. It's super cool. Again, just towards the end game, there's so many enemies, and there's some really tough enemies that it's not really doing as much as you probably want it to. So therefore, it's not higher on my list. But in terms of like which ones do I remember the most, this one's definitely up there for me. 7th place, we have the Pulverizer. Now, this is the one that everyone talks about. This is the skull-crushing weapon that spreads like a shotgun. in a way, but it's like fully auto. This is definitely one of my most memorable weapons. This is one that when I got it, I had an absolute ball with it. The only reason it's a little bit lower is because you do get a weapon later in the game that is very similar to this that I think is much better. And when I did get that, I never really used the pulverizer since. So that's why it's this low, but I absolutely love what they did with this weapon. I love the idea. I love its creativeness, how unique it is, and it's super satisfying to use, and it's very effective, especially when you're going up against, when you're in smaller areas with a lot of enemies around or some bigger enemies. It really deals a lot of damage, and it really feels like you're having a lot of effect on what you're attacking. And just seeing the animation and everything, this is really a great weapon. This is a great weapon, and I'm so glad it's in this game. Coming in at 6th place, I actually have the chain shot. Now, this seems to be the most divisive weapon in the game because it's definitely different. You shoot this big cannonball attached to a chain. It hits, it makes a big impact, and then you pull it back in. I personally found this super fun. I had a great time with the chain shot. I think it did a lot of damage. You can get an upgrade where every time you parry, the next shot is a fully charged shot. And so you get into this rhythm of parry, bam, parry, bam, and you're just doing amazing damage. And the audio design and the animation of the chain shot is just, it's a dopamine rush. Like, again, the whole game is. So I really enjoyed the chain shot. It was one of my favorites to use. Coming in 5th place, kicking out the top 5, we have the final melee weapon in the game, and that is the Dread Mace. The Dread Mace is the big club thing that you see in the trailers or some of the marketing, and this thing is an absolute beast. When you use it, number one, you do this big wind up to swing it, and then once you swing it, it makes this awesome impact. It kills enemies around it. It kills, obviously, the enemy you're hitting with. It deals massive damage. And the audio design and the animation just makes it feel so just impactful. But also this weapon really helps in the game because every time you do it, you completely refill your ammo for all of your weapons, not just the one you're holding, all your weapons. It's just like it's a max ammo in Call of Duty. This thing is an absolute beast. I really enjoy this. Once I got this weapon, this is when I started using melee weapons a lot. Like, I used melee like every 10 seconds when I had this thing because it was just so good. It does have a long cooldown, but if you just pick up one of the melee charges, you can do it very quickly. And so this thing was absolutely a standout for me. Coming in 4th place is the Ravager, and this is the other skull weapon that I was talking about. It is basically the pulverizer, but it's more of a precise, longer range version of it. And you can get upgrades for when you're firing at max speed, because this is also one that it ramps up speed the more you hold down the fire button. Once you get to max speed, there's upgrades where you can either gain, I think it is like health, or you can gain higher damage or something like that. I do believe. This thing was just super fun to use. Like, again, it's like the pulverizer, one of my favorite weapons. It's super duper iconic. It's super different, unique, and it's really effective. You can hit the little flying brain enemies. You can hit the bigger enemies. You get the smaller enemies, and you really just feel like you're mowing them down. And it plays into a really interesting strategy and system with having to rev it up to reach that max speed. I just really enjoyed this weapon. I think this is one of the better ones in the game. But kicking off the top 3, we have the Cycler. This is the other plasma energy rifle. This thing is amazing. It does incredible damage. It has great accuracy. It has a great rate of fire. It does a lot to enemies. So, like, in sense of if you hit a plasma shield, it'll create this huge enemy blast. Same thing as the Accelerator, but again, the Cycler just as a gun and a weapon is much better. And the Cycler is such an interesting, like, looking weapon because it has like these 2 barrels, almost like a double barrel shotgun, very futuristic, but it shoots out rifle ammo, except they're plasma bullets. Yeah, I just absolutely love this weapon. This is one I always came back to. It was this and the next weapon on the list that I just went back and forth all the time with, because it was just super duper effective and it was fun to use. So that's really everything you want out of a Doom weapon right there. Our runner-up, or in other words, my number 1 gun, and that is the Super Shotgun. The Super Shotgun, it's classic. It's classic. It's the OG. It is the perfect Doom weapon. High damage, high efficiency. You can get some really cool upgrades for this thing. It looks sick. It's like medieval themed. This is everything you want out of a Doom weapon, and this was the one. Once I got some of the upgrades for it, it's so easy to just stick with this gun throughout the whole game because it just does the most. It does the most, and it is the best. And as far as I'm concerned, it will probably always be the best in any Doom game because the super shotgun is the gun. And in this game, it's awesome as well. It is awesome as well. I absolutely love it. This is what I've heard most people's favorite gun are in the game. No surprise to me. It's also my favorite gun in the game. But it is my runner-up because, in my opinion, there is one weapon that is this game. And that is, coming in first place, the shield. The shield is easily, in my opinion, the greatest component to Doom the Dark Ages gameplay. I honestly am going to have a really hard time playing a Doom game without the shield from now on. Because the shield is everything in this game. It is the platforming. It is the defense. It is the attack. It is the strategy. It is the systems that play into that shield that make this game's gameplay so fun. Whether it is parrying and charging up some of your guns, whether it is parrying or getting ammo or being able to shield bash half across the map, or whether it is to throw the shield and see it slice through multiple enemies, come back to you, throw the shield and hit some shield enemies, which will then explode and create this big shockwave. Whether it is throwing it up and platforming, it makes you do like this leap across some gaps and some bridges. This thing really is everything in this game. You can block attacks. This is what you use in terms of basically all your mobility and your defense in the game. This thing is awesome. I love the design of it. It's obvious. Like, when you think Doom the Dark Ages, I feel like you're gonna think of the shield. You're gonna think of the shield. That is the weapon in this game, and for me, this was the absolute standout. This is the one where I hope it's in every Doom game to come, because this was the true innovation in Dark Ages, and they absolutely crushed it. They knocked it out of the park. But that is gonna do it for my Doom the Dark Ages all weapons ranking. I know there was a lot, but hey, gotta love it. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what are your favorite weapons? Which ones did you use the most? Which ones did you use the least? I'd really be curious to know. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.